Ladies and gentlemen, for those who've had an opportunity to see, fresh off Raw in Belgium, doing workouts for most people, but hey, some people sneak and get a chance, get a look, kind of work things around, see if they can see it. Some people don't. It's like everything else. It's a decision you may not be able to make, may not be able to control. But interesting day already in wrestling. Interesting weekend. We did have a TNA, or as we just go ahead and lump it together, NXT TNA. The TNA side had Sacrifice. So we'll go over that. Of course, we'll start with some NXT, the NX part of NXTNA. We got AEW. And of course, Raw from last week, Smackdown from last week. A couple of highlights from this week, just for little tantalization for those who may not have had an opportunity to listen, maybe those who have, and then we might dig into a little bit more next week because we know we got one at 4:00 Eastern next week, so that's going to be interesting too. But hey,
especially at the time of this show,
exactly,
that's right on the borderline.
And it wasn't quite 3 hours today, but it was over 2. Right, so if it's 2.5 or more, when it's ending, we gonna be starting. But hey, fun times.
Man,
I'd rather have that issue than I have a going on.
So you might get some different things. So we gonna try our best not to spoil everything. But what we will say is, if there's something hot going on during Monday Night Raw, during the daytime hour, we got to talk about it. There's no way around it. Like, there's nowhere around it. Sometimes you got to hit the high points when it's hot. And there's a couple of them that happened today that was hot that we got to touch on. Not the whole show. A couple of hot topics.
Couple comments. Daniel Berry Sports Highlight says, "Yo, what's up, DB?" And then Miss Yo-Yo in the building. She says, "Hey, Miss Yo-Yo, what's up, Yolanda? What's going on?"
Kuma came, I'd like to get us started with the NXTNA and their Sacrifice event.
Because really, it's their event. You know what I'm saying? Like it's to a point where it's like it's their event. You know what I'm saying?
There's like you came up with the net, you merged them together. So,
but did a lot though. Did a lot. I'm just saying.
I ain't say you were wrong. I ain't say you were wrong, but I'm saying you're the one that merged them together.
Yeah, I was I didn't know if you wanted to touch on anything from NXT prior to Sacrifice, or if you just want to dive straight to Sacrifice.
Let's go straight into Sacrifice because we already got. We might have a pretty little lengthier episode because I'm sorry, you ain't gonna get all the spoilers, but it's a couple of things that happened today that have to be talked about. It cannot. I just cannot because it has to be talked about because I already posted all over social media already, and Ku will tell you it's already plastered all over. So like you can't avoid it.
Yep. So, TNA Sacrifice. Started off a street fight. Mace Warner with Steph DeLander versus Sami Callihan. Mace Warner won the match. Obviously, Steph DeLander, your corner helps. Tessa Blanchard battles Li Ying Lee. You may know.
Why is that her name?
Messiah Lee from
Why is that her name? Why did y'all give her a longer name? And plus, it's the name twice. It just spelled different.
Well, that is from what I understand. From what I understand. Why they gave it to her, I don't have an answer. But They did it. And of course, I
you
guess
think
I know you can guess who won that match.
Of course, come on. They talking about the champion here.
Tessa Hogan Blanchard.
Who does not have a lot of friends, by the way. Even those that do come from NXT.
Well, Tessa's not going to have a lot of friends, period, because Tessa and Terry definitely have a different way of believing than most people. And people don't like that.
Oh, I peep game.
All right, then we'll skip up Trey Miguel, Zachary Wentz, and Ace Austin. So what?
So I've been peeping game. Mr. Jade.
Yeah.
Mr. Jade, I saw you.
So
Proud of you.
So Trey Miguel, Zachary Wentz, and Ace Austin against Wesley, Tyson DuPont, and Tyreek Igwe. And so Tyson and Tyreek is heavy, I guess we're considered. The Rascals and Ace Austin won the match. But I get a little drop in. You can tell batting a little chest palpitations. No, I'm just kidding, not palpitations, but little stoppage up in the chest. But we're working through it. All right, then we had Frankie Kazarian versus Steve Macklin. I mean, to me, this was an ultimate 50-50 match. Steve Macklin won. These are two guys who always lose, so somebody had to win. All right, then we had the Knockouts World Tag Team Champions. Dana Ludi and Jody Threat versus Ash and Heather by Elegance. And the Elegance ladies won the match. But that's not the important part.
Because actually, that is the important part because they finally catch those darn titles after like probably 20 tries.
But that's not the important
part.
But
the most pleasurable part.
Actually, it's the most important as well because it was history being made. That's why it's the most important part.
Okay. With the historian Cool McCain.
Yes, sir. An NXT duo, the Meta Girls, Miss Jackson, Jakara Jackson, and the legend herself, Lash Legend, walk out, stare down the new tag team champions. So now we've gotten, for the first time, an NXT tag team on the female side crossing the line the other way and making it known what they're after. So
I think I made the wrong move by following Jakari Jackson on Instagram because she's Louise.
I haven't made that move, but I am a couple of wrestling groups where they post a lot of things from her Instagram, and I definitely will not be joining her or Lash Legend's Instagram just based on what they share from their Instagram. I won't be joining because I need that.
You do the right thing and not do that. I already made good.
Not doing it.
Yeah, yes. Jakari dressing and shooting up my list again. Oof. That woman out.
Cakes for days from the Meta. We can just call them the Meta Cakes.
You can call them the Meta Cakes, but Jakari Jackson got that body is perfecto.
Hey, don't be trying to sleep on Lash either now.
Oh no! I'm just saying, like, when you hear most men describe the type of woman they want, I think they be talking about Jakari Jackson.
So I'll say this. There are definitely a lot of men that will want someone with a body like Jakari Jackson, and everybody would love to look at that. But there are some men who like a little bit of a meatier woman.
And Lash Legend.
Yeah. And she's still got a nice curvaceousness and cakes and all that, but a little bit more of a
she has a nice ratio of where you want it at.
Yes, a lot of thickness. Big meaty women.
But my bad. I'm sorry I went that way. Usually cool that goes that way, but I had to. He said Jakari Jackson, and I'm just like, She just
don't apologize to me because you didn't do it. I was gonna do it.
every once in a while I gotta let it out. Every once in a while I gotta let it out. All right, this is the week that you can blame me for this one. But I will say the new tag team champions, they had how I want to put this. They had their schoolgirl outfit going on, which was interesting.
They had their assets on display.
Yeah, the whole, the tied up white shirt, button up shirt in the red and polka dot skirts. I'm like, okay, interesting.
Okay. All right. We'll move on. Mustafa Ali with his little crew against Mike Santana.
His little cronies.
Obviously, 4-on-1. Yeah. Obviously, 4-on-1. We know who's winning this match. It's like the system fighting anybody. Obviously, Mustafa Ali wins. All right. Next, after that match, TNA Knockouts World Championship match. Masha Slamovich versus Cora Jade. We talked about before how we don't think it's a point where they're going to switch, especially any of the major individual championships, to somebody from NXT. Maybe I could see tag teams being the first one to do it. That would be more probably realistic. Masha won.
Of course.
She got hit with the Requiem Power Driver, Cora Jade, I'm speaking of, and that was it. That's the same move that put out the Juggernaut. So then we had a TNA X Division Championship ladder match. Moose and Jeff Hardy with motions for bosses. Long story short, Moose won. Of course, there was some cheating, but Moose won. All right. We're not even going to talk about First Class. They had a segment to kind of get them a little TV time, but
you don't want to talk about AJ Francis.
It's not that I don't want to talk about AJ Francis, but Casey Navarro.
It's rough. Okay, I got you. It's rough. My bad. It's rough.
It's called this little thing they got called the First Class Penthouse. They kind of do if you remember what the neighborhoodie and Shad Gaspar used to do. Yes, I call the neighborhoodie. Yo, 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 yo.
It's crime time.
They do something like that. They pimp merchandise and coupons. They have a record label called First Class Records, and they're going to have auditions with audience members later on tonight. And then it just kind of goes. Some lucha guys come out speaking in Spanish, and there's a brief physical altercation. AJ gets mad because they don't play his music at the end of the segment. So, yeah.
I got you a big cluster. Got it. Big cluster.
Yeah. Cluster cluck. All right. Steel cage 10-man tag team match.
The biggest news from TNA Sacrifice.
Joe Hendry, Matt Hardy, Elijah, Leon Slater, and a returning Nick Namath versus the remaining members of the extended system: Eddie Edwards, Brian Myers, JDC, and Eddie and Orlando Colon. The Colon. So, of course, it's a pay-per-view. There's no title on the line. And whenever there's a pay-per-view and there's no title on the line, especially in Total Nonstop Action Wrestling, the good guys win. Joe Hendry, Matt Hardy, Elijah, Leon Slater, and Nick Namath did get the victory. And that, ladies and gentlemen,
but the show
is
is not
your.
over.
Go ahead, sir.
I'm just saying, but the show is not over. Interesting to watch this as the world champion leaves the ring. Elijah leaves the ring. You have the Nemeth brothers still in the cage with Matt Hardy. And Ryan Nemeth decided to strike gold with Matt Hardy's head. The Nemeth brothers beat up Matt Hardy inside the steel cage while keeping everybody else outside the cage.
Yeah, Ryan came out for some quote unquote moral support during the match. And then they basically went to town on Matt Hardy and kept everybody else, all the other good guys, from being able to get in the ring to help him. So the Nemeths are officially bad guys. And
now we get to wait this week to hear their explanation, if we get one.
No one cares about them or the explanation. If we're being honest, Nick's been gone. Ryan's Nick's brother. Right? I mean, not to be that guy. Be that guy.
With Nick Namath being the heel now, does that affect his appearance on Busted Open?
Probably not. Probably not. Bubba don't care if you're a good guy or a bad guy. He'll have you up there.
Because I'm saying is,
oh, Bubba Ray Dudley.
Are we going to break kayfabe on Busted Open, or are we going to let Nick Namath be here on Busted Open as well? Just saying.
Well, you don't have to. I mean, technically, you don't have to break kayfabe. You could just talk about all the things you want to talk about, and then, he talks about it. There's a reason. You'll find out the reason. There's a reason why Matt got what he got, and you'll find out.
I'm just throwing the general questions out there that wrestling fans would have in this type of situation. That's all.
I'm just giving you one of the ways it can go. Obviously, it all depends on how serious they are about kayfabe.
When you are in wrestling groups, we know how these fans are.
Oh, I'm in several wrestling groups. So
kayfabe is like the number one thing that must be maintained at all costs.
In certain cases.
Me and you, we don't think that way.
Yeah. In certain cases, it is. But there are times where you just kind of like, come on, man. But, there are those that are. So that's true. All right. So we want to take a quick commercial break. Come back. Bust y'all down with some AEW. And then after that, Playmaker will be able to go wild on Raw. And when he talks about Belgium, I just want y'all to know one thing. He needs to make sure that he calms down a little bit, because there's something that happened he'll talk about that is going to really excite him.
Excite me. I don't want to say that.
Really exciting.
I don't want to say excite me. It's just a good start. That's all I'm saying. It's a very good start.
I would say exciting. Maybe he would, but I would.
It's a good start. I know a lot of people didn't like it because when we get there, we'll talk about it and I'll explain it. Because when we just talk about wrestling fans, this is what I mean. So
Yolanda says, don't be giving no spoilers, Playmaker.
Hey, look here, woman. I do a show. I have to give the people the information. I'm sorry. I'm not going to talk about any of the matches that took place. I'm going to say that for next week. Because those can wait.
Damien said, Hogan, Hitler, Blanchard. Laugh out loud. Works for me.
Darn, now we putting Hitler in there too? Good gracious.
Works for me.
You want to upgrade her to Hitler? God dog.
I'm not upset. Philly says, what's going on? What's going on, Philly? Yolanda says, men just like women, all shapes and sizes, unless you play for the other team.
All we saying is when the general population of men describe women, you can see Jakari Jackson and you be like, that's what they be talking about. In some other cases, Lash Legend. That's all me and Cool saying. When they describe the type of woman, as far as figure wise, them two ladies would be
definitely two of the archetypes for what most men would say. Yeah. And putting them together, that's what makes them the Medicates. Damien says Santana coming out with a lowrider was cool. I wasn't upset with it, but maybe they're gonna do it like an Eddie Guerrero type run for him, not necessarily the character, but maybe that's where they're going with Santana since he's the leader of the locker room or whatever. All right. Damien also says I kind of figured Nick was going to turn heel, but I thought he would attack Hendry since he is the one with the title. Well, you've got to do something where Ryan has some purpose, Damien. I actually agree with you, but I think you have to find something for Ryan to have purpose, and no one cares about Ryan unless he's doing something with Nick.
And yeah, so when you put Ryan in there, you got to have the tag team champions in the cage. Might not go out there.
Mm-hmm. Maybe after they get them, then Nick will go after Joe Hendry, but then he'll have Elijah with him. Until Elijah turns on him. So that's going to happen. Elijah, when he was Ezekiel, was back and forth every week, so we know how that goes. Well, Elias, excuse me. Ezekiel was a good guy. Elias was the bad guy.
Hey!
In the building.
Why?
One of the big dogs, our brother, Wise El Jefe. What's up, Wise? And shout out to Real Wise Radio. We are on right now live. Giving the people what they want. And maybe what they don't want. They're still going to get it.
What they want.
All right, good people. It is time. It's time. It is commercial time.
Whether it's news, the largest egg producer finds bird flu in chickens at a Texas plant, weather, devastating tornadoes rip through the heart of the United States, inspiration, a breast cancer survivor completed the journey of chemotherapy and now begins a future one of matrimony or sports. Michael Jordan is shown on a photo with Diddy. LeBron James has a video extolling the virtues of a Diddy party. This has been yet another beating a dead horse presentation. We got you covered. BS3 Network proudly presents The Morning Shift with Cole Johnson, live every weekday morning beginning April 29th at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central. Drew Willingham.
In this case, yeah, you put the blame on Kyle Shanahan for apparently not preparing the team enough for the overtime rules, supposedly.
Cole Johnson.
Peyton was considered the winner, and he was the darling of all darlings for Gerald.
With a special appearance by Tyrone Alizé McDummy.
Ain't nobody calling me. Text. Delete!
Join these two football enthusiasts as they give you Total Football Talk. Live every Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central on the Sertoba Media and the Comey Media YouTube channels. Whether it's the men's college game,
The way that this season has been going, yeah, anything is possible.
the women's college game,
And how passionate Angel Reese was at that press conference, they got their mojo now.
the WNBA,
AJ Wilson Brown stood 1-2, followed by Brittany Griner, Aaliyah Boston, Jackie Young.
or the NBA.
The Lakers had a 0.8 chance of winning. And then what happened in the fourth quarter? LeBron James by himself outdid the Clippers.
You will get any and all of the information right at your fingertips or your earlobes. Join the Playmaker as he breaks down all things basketball in Shooting Lights Out on the Playmakers blog, network, YouTube channel, and where you can find podcasts.
All right, good people. So
yes, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow, Shooting Lights Out, the March Madness preview. Got a good show for y'all to get you ready for the NCAA tournament, both the men and the women. So y'all be ready for that tomorrow. It's going to be a very good one. And by the way, speaking of somebody telling me not to spoil something, put up Damien's comment.
go ahead, sir. It's all you.
Just saying. Y'all don't want me to spoil it, but you know we got Damien in the chat. Damien gonna do it anyway. Might as well strike while the iron's hot. I'm just saying. But I'll say that for later on.
And Damien did give us a spoiler-free comment on that. He did.
And we was on break when he put that in there.
No, he put it on there before we went to break. Right before we went to break, but he put it in there before we went to break. So Wise says, my brother. Then he says, hello, gentlemen. And of course, Damien says, shoot me, darn it. Laugh out loud, but he doesn't say darn it. But we keep it clean around here for the most part. Every once in a while, I play make it get hype, but we keep it clean for the most part.
So I'm just saying, I'm like, look what Wise put. I mean,
Wise also says it's already on YouTube. I'm not disagreeing.
no,
I
not
what
you.
we
You
talk
talking about my sister? Talking about don't spoil nothing. It's already spoiled. I ain't even have to spoil it.
Listen,
that's why I had to come to a compromise because I know
that's between you and your sister.
my co-host, he didn't catch everything, so I was like, "How about I just hit the high points from today's show? Just the high points, the hot topics.
That's cool. I mean,
the hot topics, and I can say everything else for next week because next week we'll build into what happened today. We'll build into next week's. So
that's cool. I mean, either way, it's all good for me. You know what I mean? Has to be trying to think about all the good people. You know what I mean? Not just the ones that were able to see it.
Sometimes
just got out of work and hopped on with us right away and ain't even really they don't usually see it.
But when some good stuff happens, you gotta strike with the iron's hot.
Hey, it's whatever with me. It's whatever.
So we gonna split it. That's what we do.
I can talk about TNA for an hour if I need to. AEW for 45 minutes. You know what I'm saying? NXTNA for an hour 15. So it ain't nothing to me. Whatever.
You talking about AEW for 45 minutes is gonna be 15 to 30 minutes of you going off because of Tony Khan did something stupid. Which is gold, by the way. It's gold, by the way. Don't get me wrong. It's great content. Very great content. But at some point, you're going to want to stop and get to a different company.
Oh, man.
That's why you was having last week. We still had to talk about WWE. He's like, yeah, get me off this right now because I can keep going.
Yeah, TK. All right.
Which we about to talk about right now.
AEW Dynamite. To kick it off, of course, we heard from the new AEW International Champion, Kenny Omega. And if you're not sure which belt that is, no one else is either. It's one of the many belts. So, Kenny's a babyface. I'm not going to waste the time to say exactly what he said, but he's back to being a babyface. He's winning what's the international, I think, third, maybe fourth tier championship at this point. So obviously he won't have this long. He'll move up to something else, but at least somebody who people care about has that belt. And I don't mean to say that nastily. It's just the truth of the matter. All right, first trios match. We have the Ops.
They're in trios.
Samoa Joe, Shibata, and Hook versus three jabronis named Juventud, Vinny Pacifico, El Thesis, and Gabriel Eros. I think we know who won that. So Ricochet then was backstage. He had some words for Shibata.
I can tell right now by how you just started it, this is not going good for AEW.
Ricochet tells Shibata that he don't need to show up at Collision. So he's supposed to challenge Kenny Omega for the 3rd or 4th rate championship. But Ricochet says it's his time, and that's a promise. Anyway, next week on Dynamite, AEW World Champion Jon Moxley will fight the rated R superstar Colt. In a street fight for the championship.
We're getting a street fight now?
We're getting a street fight on an episode of Dynamite.
Was not last week not enough?
This, sir. So let me say this. This reeks of desperation. Okay. Tony, how about you just come out of the powder tornado or tornado geyser room and just think of what you're doing. So, and not only is the match happening, but the winner at AEW Dynasty is going to fight Swerve Strickland on April 6th.
Oh my gosh.
So you're giving us a pay-per-view, whatever you want to call it, quality match.
Supposedly.
On Dynamite. Supposedly on Dynamite.
Because supposedly last week was a pay-per-view. And how did that turn out?
I mean, that wasn't even really a pay-per-view. It was just...
Breathe, cool. Woosa.
Okay.
This is what Tony Khan does to Kuma Game.
So Swerve gets the winners at AEW Dynasty.
Where should we capture that title?
Yeah. He says that he made history by becoming the first Black AEW champion at Dynasty last year. He's going to make history again. Cope says, I don't know if you noticed, but I didn't lose tonight, so there's a chance that by the time Dynasty comes around, you'll be facing me. There is not, sir. Let's just say that. There is not. You are not going to win that belt, sir. You look like a international champion, okay? You do not look like an AEW World Heavyweight Champion anymore, sir. You're not going to win that match.
You say he looked like a champion, period, to be honest.
Well, I mean, they got 30 belts, so you have one. I mean, it's not like they don't have enough for everybody. He had one. It's just not one of the big belts. Not TNT. Not World. You can get international or one of those other belts, but not one of those, sir. All right. Moxley has some things to say. We don't care because we don't care about what Moxley says in his new weirdo KKK wannabe weird type role. So we're not even going to worry about that. All right. Hologram and Powerhouse Hobbs took on the Machine, Brian Cage, and Drilistico. This match makes absolutely no sense.
Just like the names.
They don't even.
So Tony Khan actually put on.
They're not even in groups together. They're not even associated. There's just.
So Tony Khan actually made some sense. He put on a non-critic. How can I put this? A non-spectacular match with non-spectacular names.
The only name in this match that matters is Powerhouse Hobbs because he's actually done something. The other three have won nothing.
Hologram. Harley Graham is with them. Who is Harley Graham?
That's probably Harley Quinn because she is crazy.
You Harley Graham, really?
Yeah, Harley Quinn because she's crazy.
She can be crazy because the name's Harley, but why you had to put the Graham with it?
Because it's Harley Graham and Hologram.
Delistia, what the world?
Drilistico.
Where did that come from?
And of course, Powerhouse Hobbs, the only person that mattered in the match, won.
Because they don't know what they want to do with Brian Cage. He could be a machine one week, the next week he can be.
Oh, they know what they want to do with him. Nothing.
He can be the big buff guy with a peanut brain.
They know what they want to do with him. Nothing.
And I got that from Cole Johnson, by the way.
All right, AEW World Champion Thomas Tony Storm came out. The only, of course, everything that Tony says is gold.
The main
The
important
important
thing about
thing
this,
is
she
blocked
got knocked up. God.
by Megan Bain. All right, so we have a Dynasty International Championship, which is, let's see. Let me go back up and see if that's the one that Kenny Omega has, or if he has a different one, because they have so many different ones. Okay, that is the one that Kenny Omega has. So now they're having eliminator matches for this. And AEW does eliminator matches when they just want to have people that would never get a shot at any championship get a shot at the championship. So the two people who are in this eliminator tournament match is the Beast Mortos and the wild card. The wild card ends up being, to no one's surprise, now one person. A newborn baby could figure this out. Speedball Mike Bailey.
Yeah, like he made his debut like last week on Dynamite.
Right. And of course, Speedball Mike Bailey won.
Oh, he does debut, of course.
Yeah. And we know the rules about get debuting. So Christian and the Patriarchy were backstage. Nick and Christian got into a little bit of a shoving match. Christian asked Nick Wayne, how many world titles has your biological father and you ever won? He said he's going to be the AEW champion. It's the last thing he does. Keep riding his coattails. Because the next time they have this conversation, will be the last time. Basically, Christian's embarrassed because he got beat down. You
had a free guaranteed championship and you blew it.
In the worst way possible.
Yo, cash-in was worse than...
That wasn't even, I wouldn't even consider that crap a cash-in. That was just hot trash juice mixed with poo-poo.
I was waiting for you to come in and interrupt me for
you know what I'm saying?
That.
And whatever
I was waiting on that.
That was garbage.
Because he
that
knew
was a low light. So you know how you're in groups, I mean a lot of wrestling groups, and you got the AEW stands, you got the WWE people, you got the people who kind of like both and try to be like, if they both got they selling points. AEW came out with that ending. And all of the AEW stands have been silent. They have nothing they can say. You ended your pay-per-view with that debaucherous tomfoolery. So very sad. Just sad. So MJF punched the mirror in the back when he was supposed to have an interview with Lexi Nair and called himself a fraud. So Hangman beat MJF. MJF was blaming Hangman for a cheap shot. The king of cheap shots, by the way. MVP came down to the ring.
The irony.
Basically, long story short, he tried to give him a business card. MJF didn't want to take it. And MJF was like, I was the world champion for 406 consecutive days. The MVP
gave MJF some reality.
Yeah. Then he said, focus on the word was. He handed MJF the card and he walked away. Basically, to make a long story short, you know how everybody kind of needs that moment of clarity where somebody say, look, bro, you sit here, you whine, complain, you talk about all this and all that you did, but you ain't doing nothing there. That was MVP. MJF finally got that rude awakening that may help him start to go the other way. All right. Then we had a Best Wrestler Alive Platinum Max Caster open. Konosuke Takeshita answered the challenge. We know who won. Max Caster can't beat trying to think of who would be applicable in this situation. Edge.
That's what I'm trying to think, because I'm like, so we doing a best wrestler alive open challenge, and Matt Caster is the leader of this.
He is he's coined the nickname best wrestler alive.
By who?
He gave it to himself. Nobody else gave him that.
And y'all AEW fans are eating this up.
You know what? He can't beat Hologram. How about that? He can't beat the dude.
Y'all can.
Hologram.
This is Matt Caster, who was in a tag team, by the way.
The Acclaimed. He decided he was the best wrestler alive, and he didn't need anyone. Which was,
and all of a sudden he just came up with his bright idea, the best wrestler alive.
And he gets drugged every time he wrestles. He can't beat.
I'm sorry. You can go to TNA, you still won't be the best wrestler in that company.
You could go to a high school gym and you wouldn't be the best wrestler. If you smell what The Rock is cooking. And you smell it. All right. Chris Jericho was backstage holding Gravity's mask.
He still got Ring of Honor championship, huh?
Yes.
Has he even defended that darn thing?
He does, but I mean, nobody watches Ring of Honor, so nobody knows when he defends it, unless it's like on a pre-show of an AEW pay-per-view. Or a premium live event or a special attraction event or whatever. All right, then we had Penelope Ford versus AEW's own version of Miss herself, Willow Nightingale. So Willow won the match. Penelope cracked Willow with a steel chair. Chris Statlander came to the ring, kicked the chair into Ford's face. Then Megan Bain came out and blindsided both of them with a double clothesline.
All right, so Megan Bain's making her name for himself.
Yeah, and Penelope is Megan Bain's girl too, by the way. That's a partner.
So we taking out the women's world champion. We taking out Willow Nightingale. We taking out Chris Statlander. So you take out the champion and two powerhouses. Jeez. All right, Megan Bain, you on your way until somebody does some interesting powders that's gonna take a left turn.
Yep. So Renee interviewed Mercedes Moné. Billy Starks joined the segment. Billy told Mercedes basically, I'm looking to be a champion. Mercedes said, you're out of your league, but I'll give you a shot next week, kiddo. I'm going to prove there's a price to pay when you mess with me. She said Mercedes, but when you say there's a price to pay, you got to say Moné. We don't need the Mercedes. There's a price to pay when you mess with Moné. That's what you need to be saying, Mercedes.
I mean, it is a price to pay when you mess with Mercedes. So
right, but the rhyme, my boy.
I know what you were doing.
You mess with Moné, that's what we need.
I was just being that guy for once, okay?
I have held in 3 rants. Please work with me. Okay? Work with me. All right. Will Ospreay, Ariel Sasha, comes to the ring. He says he wants to be in the main event of All In Texas. The only way he can get there is by entering the Owen Hart tournament. He says he's going through everybody that stands in his way. He wants to be world champion because his name is Will Ospreay and he's on another level. No surprise there. So Jay White got interviewed. They want to know if he hit Cope with the briefcase on purpose. He says no. Renee then interviewed Hangman Page. MJF bumped into him.
That's
and
a
then
bump.
Yeah, just bumped into him and then had some things to say because he's him. But a little back and forth, but time purposes, we're gonna roll through that. Another international championship match. You tell me who won.
Freshly Squeeze.
Freshly Squeezed, Orange Cassidy, and Hichichiro.
No, somehow, some way, Hichichiro actually beat Freshly Squeezed. Believe it or not.
That's not what happened. Not at all. So Speedball pointed Orange Cassidy because I guess they're fighting each other next. So there's that. So a very low hanging fruit episode of AEW did move some things along, but Powder.
The man held in 3 ranks just on
Tornadoes.
AEW by itself.
Powder Tornadoes.
3 ranks on one company. Think about that.
Powder Tornadoes. Powder Tornadoes. All right. Yolanda then responds to our man Wise and says that's not true. It is, Yolanda. I actually watched one of the parts I missed on YouTube. It's there. But you have to look for it, in all fairness. You have to look for it. It's not just
Sometimes you don't gotta look for it. It comes straight to you.
But that's because me and you be watching all these clips. For people who don't be watching clips like that, it doesn't just pop up for them. Because they're not in the algorithm. Damien then says she can't find me, so I can spoil all I want. Laugh out loud. Wisen says only Grand Slam champ.
Kenny.
Yep, and then he says AEW is so corny. You know,
Why
I tried to give him.
I heard him last week. A brilliant cool tangent last week. Brilliant.
I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt. They don't deserve it. They don't deserve it. They don't deserve it. Damien says, am I the only one who really hates this Ricochet gimmick? Like, dude, you should have stayed in WWE. Ricochet should have went to TNA. That's what he should have did. He should not have stayed in WWE. He should not be in AEW. He should have went to TNA. Because there, he probably would at least be X Division champion after Moose. Damien says, TK trying to scam people like Brett Favre. You know, I think he thinks he's putting out a good show, Damien. That's why I think it's bad.
Hey, don't get sued by Brett Favre.
So, Wild says they need the Mid-Atlantic title. Hey, it'll be some wild version.
They don't need no more titles.
They'll have some wild version of that. They'll see that you said it and be, oh, we need another title because Wide said it. Because all he needs is one person. And
Cool gonna come on here and he gonna go on a rant for like, why does AEW have 100 titles?
Yolanda says, I'm about to leave and watch Raw. Then she says, maybe not. Then she said, you can talk about others. No love, Playmaker.
I say I'm only hitting the hot spot. I'm not talking about the matches that took place or one of the other things that took place. Only hitting 2 critical spots on Raw from the day. That is it. Sitting here trying to make me act like I didn't see what I saw today. Like, no. I compromise. I'll hit on the key spot. It's only 2.
All right.
Technically more, but I'm only picking 2.
All right. So commercial break. Come back. Playmaker got his time, and y'all know ain't no Raw. So y'all can chill out with us a few more extra minutes tonight. Ain't no Raw coming on. Let's get it.
Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze god.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crayon they get, they palm it and do 2 circles, and that translates to, I can beat up black people.
As she takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific Time Zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Base YouTube channel.
Everything Boston. I love you morons. New Kids from the Block, New Edition,
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason Whitlock.
All right. Limited commercials tonight, so Playmaker can have his time. Let's get it.
All right, so now I have to go all the way back to last week's Monday Night Raw to begin this off. And of course, we had the big steel cage match. That was the main event. Jey Uso went against Grayson Waller. Uso beat Grayson Waller. One have the 8-time down under. But unfortunately, my good co-host, your boy got put to sleep again.
Yes, it did.
And Jay is about to lose it because he getting tired getting put to sleep by Gunther.
Hey, you get tired of somebody putting you to sleep, what you supposed to do about it?
So, Gunther 2, Jay 0. That's how I'm keeping score right now. AJ Styles was supposed to call out Logan Paul, but Logan Paul decided to, overstep his boundaries. So he decided to come out first.
Mm-hmm.
Say everything he wanted to say, and then this comedian, Andrew Schultz, is in the crowd because this was in New York City, by the way, Madison Square Garden. By the way, last week's show, and haven't really don't know much about Schultz. I don't know if you do. I don't really know much about him.
It's kind of funny. I've seen a couple of his stuff. It's kind of funny.
But Logan Paul, tried to do the whole heel gimmick of trying to make Schultz say people are here to see Logan Paul, with the entire arena definitely booing the hell out of Logan Paul. Like, okay, that's how I put this. Dominic Mysterio, we consider the top here because the only thing he did was throw on his father, and everybody despised this guy. New Day is up there because they turned on Big E. Everybody legit hates Logan Paul. Wrestling fans legit hate Logan Paul.
Wrestlers too.
This is not one of those, oh, you did something bad, we can't stand you for the moment. No, they do not like Logan Paul, period.
I agree.
So if there's anybody who has the actual real heat, is Logan Paul.
If they ever try to turn Logan Paul face, I just want you to know Tony Khan has infiltrated WWE. At least sent some packages to Hunter.
No, I think Hunter might do it just to see if it'll work or not. He might, because one thing I would say about Triple H don't mind testing the waters. Let's just see. Just to see what we get. Okay, that ain't gonna work. We'll scratch it. That I would give Triple H. Triple H will try something just to see how it works. We'll scratch it. But yes, Logan Paul legit has heat, and it's real heat. Nobody likes him. AJ Styles finds it, comes out, and he hits Logan Paul with a phenomenal forearm. So Logan Paul, you got a little taste of your own medicine. How you like to punch people with that metal in your hand? Well, now you know how it feels to get punched in the face with a phenomenal forearm. Doesn't feel good, does it?
I wouldn't think it would.
This is where Kuma Kane and my sister and everybody else roll their eyes because we had a tornado tag team match. LWO, Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee versus the New Day. In the tornado tag match, there are no tags, which means there are no rules. I must say it was a pretty interesting match. Until we had a masked luchador into the arena with the mask that had American made on it. We're not gonna make any suggestions here. But did a German suplex, a standing German suplex to Dragon Lee and turn the whole match around for the New Day to win. Michael Cole came out there and said that was Chad Gable. Pat McAfee said, "You do not know who that is. You did not see under the mask. You just cannot be out here dropping names." You get backstage, Kathy Kelly is interviewing Chad Gable, and then suddenly the same 3 security people that was chasing the masked luchador out of the arena, it's the same 3 people who has the masked luchador behind Chad Gable while he's doing the interview. Go ahead, get it off your chest.
Just why? 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 Just why?
The misdirection by WWE. It was funny. I was like, oh, wow, this is what we're doing? Okay. I'm just going to sit back and enjoy it then, because this is what we're doing. the misdirection. Hold on. Wait a minute. That's what? Yeah, you know how WWE fans and wrestling fans though. See, that's not just sit back and enjoy it, okay? Me and Cool, we already have our opinions. Very strong opinions, by the way. That there's nothing that you can tell us that's going to change it unless they do something drastically different.
That's why. Just want to know why.
Why on the Masked Luchador or the why with the interview and the Masked Luchador in the back?
The whole entire thing. Why?
That was I say wow. Dirty Dom decided to pull some strings for Finn Balor, all people. Instead of Dominic Mysterio getting a shot at the Intercontinental title, he gave that spot to Finn Balor.
Finn Balor.
So whenever y'all watch Raw, you will have a match between Braun Breaker and Finn Balor. I will get into what happened in that match next week. Your boy Cody Rhodes showed up on Monday Night Raw. The WWE champion. First time on Raw since the brutal, shocking, unimaginable attack from John Cena at Elimination Chamber.
Like the week before that, so first time in like 8 days being on Raw.
I say Raw. I ain't say
Smackdown. Yeah, I know. I'm saying he's been on Raw a lot too. More than he should.
Through all the promos, he ended it with the John Cena reference. You want some? Come get some. It's like, okay, Cody Rhodes, I'm with you now. I like that.
No more aggressive.
I like that. Okay, I'm with it. We finally had a belly cake sighting on Monday Night Raw for who knows how long.
Yes, we did.
Against Raquel Rodriguez. Unfortunately, Bailey Case did not come out on top of this one. It was Raquel Rodriguez.
But fortunately, Case was on fleek.
Just saying.
I'm just saying.
I like how we get the one show with Bailey on Raw, especially with everything that's going on both shows. I'm just saying, it's interesting how they are using Bailey. It's like they saving Bailey for something.
What could they be saving Bailey for?
What? I don't know. What? I don't know. What? But I just feel like they saving Bailey for something because she has not really been on
with one of her best friends.
I mean, she was traded to Monday Night Raw. What, last month? The month before? And she only been on Raw like what, a couple of times the whole entire time.
I'm just saying, maybe save it for something with her best friend.
And she ain't even beating on NXT no more with Roxanne Perez. Just like, what are we doing with Belly? Just throwing it out there. I'm not saying what direction to go with. I'm just saying I just feel like they saving Belly for something. Because how you get traded to Raw and you don't really appear on Raw? The numbers don't add up to me. I don't know how my co-hosts feel, but the numbers just don't add up to me.
So what you're saying really is the math ain't mathing for you.
It's not mathing right now.
Okay.
It's not.
That can be respected.
I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. But they're not adding up correctly. There's some things missing. So we try to have Michael Cole do an interview with the new Women's World Champion, Io Sky. Bianca comes out to have a conversation with Io. Mommy comes out to confront Bianca. Which leads to this is how we're going to get our triple threat match at WrestleMania. Cool. Your champion doesn't matter in this whole situation.
She's not my champion.
I'm just speaking in general.
I'm just saying.
The champion doesn't matter in this whole situation.
And that's going to make it even juicier. Because that means the champion gets to take the pin at WrestleMania. You're welcome. We just got to figure out, once everything comes out, which one of the other two is going to win. Because we know who's taking the pin.
Io just got pushed to the side by Rhea first and then pushed to the side again by Bianca Belair. But Io's like, oh, no, hey, wait a minute. I'm the champion here. Bleep you slapping both Rhea and Bianca Belair. Like, y'all going to put some respect on my name. Okay. I still don't like the fact it's going to be a triple threat match, but hey, it is what we're going to do, Triple H. I will follow it. Respectively. I will follow it. Because, like, I'm the champion. Y'all just not going to push me to the side like I don't mean nothing. And I'm pretty sure Kumi can't feel the same way. If you're the champion, you're just not going to push me to the side like I don't mean nothing. I have the belt that y'all want.
I mean, I dig the story, but realistically, she is the one that matters the least.
I mean, I agree with you. You know, I'm the main one. I was the first one to come out. I don't want no triple threat match. But based on how they are telling the story.
Yeah. Once Io Sky won, we already knew triple threat. Like, that was.
But I'm saying, based on how they are telling the story, I can follow it.
Yeah.
And be respectable about it. I can follow and be respectable about it. Because it's like, well, dang, that's the champion. Y'all just going to push her to the side. Like, she got the belt.
All the way to the side.
Like, she won the belt. It wasn't handed to her. She won it. I was like, okay, I can follow it. I can follow it. I still don't like it, but I can follow it. And then we get to the main event. Steel cage. CM Punk, Seth Rollins. Because what Outfit said a week before, this is it. Y'all finish it in the steel cage in Madison Square Garden because I'm tired of it. I'm sick of it. Let's finish it. Let's put the finishing touches to this rivalry. So y'all thought. Like I said, so y'all thought, because me and Cool, we knew what was coming. Now, I will say this. Now, Triple H, I will say y'all did drag this out a little too long. The 40,000 false finishers didn't need. And I don't know how you felt, but I was like, do we really need all these false finishes? Like,
no, we didn't.
Because you pretty much telling us who's coming now, because it's like they can't finish each other. We don't have like 4 stomps, 3 by Seth Rollins, 1 by CM Punk. We had like 5 GTSs, 4 by Punk and 1 by Seth Rollins, and one of them ended the match.
Bro, I'm over there watching the show like we waiting for the part-time wrestler.
I'm
A
like,
Cole
good grief.
Johnson reference.
I'm like, good grief. Now they would have did. They would have took like half of them false finishes out. They probably would have got us, even though me and Cool knew what was coming. But when you give us that many false finishes,
Yeah,
like
they made false finishes. If they got any of y'all, shame on y'all.
I don't know. I'm like, okay, where he at? Where he at? Because this is ridiculous. Hell, Seth Rollins even did a super stomp from the middle rope, and that still didn't put CM Punk down. Really? Like Triple H, don't do that. Don't give us 20 million false finishes. We don't need that.
Who has a lot of false finishes all the time? AEW.
My good gracious. I was like, man, at this moment, I just want to go to bed at now. I'm like, like, come on, man. What number did you was like, okay, I'm about done.
Oh man, I'm going to bed.
Like, what number you was at when you was like, okay, I'm done. This is ridiculous. And we being honest here.
Man, I don't even remember. All I know is that I was just sitting there like, how long are they gonna drag this out?
You knew they were dragging it out. And then we finally get to the part where and hold on, this makes it even more bad. They both telling each other about, hey, the cage door is open. You want to go through it? Go through it. Come on. Why the person's in the other corner? Like, really? Dude, you were right there about it. Why don't you go get out the goddamn ring and in the match? We didn't need all that. We didn't need all the time. We didn't need all the false finishes. But we got to the point where Seth Rollins finally had that look of, this man won't die. He just land on the ropes. This man won't die. And finally somebody jug his butt out the goddamn ring and made him win the match. That would be the one, Roman Reigns. And gave Seth Rollins a pretty good beating and a stump of his own. Let him know, I didn't forget. And then he saw Paul Heyman consulting his best friend, CM Punk. And then the Tribal Chief went ahead and destroyed CM Punk in the midst of it as well. So we getting whatever.
CM Punk was jealousy though. CM Punk was jealousy. He was jealous of Phillip Brooks.
Oh, I know that, but hey.
Yeah. I just want to throw that out there.
It works though. We're gonna get that triple threat match now.
Yes, sir. We are getting it. Those Phil's gonna be on fire when we see him again.
Because but yeah, all that just to wait for Roman Reigns to come out there. Didn't need all that.
Maybe he got delayed at the airport.
Could be anything, but there was a lot of false finishes. Because that match was long.
That'd do better to just do double knockdowns, and then they both be trying to get up. That would have saved more time. We'll wait.
How to chant them both laid out and the crowd chant, "This is awesome."
Yeah, that's
the moment for the crowd. They show their applause and appreciation, stuff like that.
That'd have been a better option, I think. But we'll roll with it.
But we starting to get to what we wanted to get to. So Smackdown from Friday night. Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, Tama Tonga. They decided to interrupt a, I would say, intriguing promo between Jimmy Uso, Big Jim, and the new United States champion LA Knight. And I love what Jimmy did. He came straight. He said, "Hey, look, the only way for me to get to what I want to get to is to step up and just tell you, daddy, in your face, I want that title." It's like, all right, Jimmy, I like it. We're just gonna cut right to the chase. I want a shot at that. I want to be United States champion, and I want to be at WrestleMania. And before LA Knight could really respond, Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, and Tama Tonga decided to interrupt. And Little family banter back and forth between the two brothers, even though Solo dropped the F-bomb on the program.
Almost.
Talking about how each one is the biggest failure in the family and all this other stuff. Then the whole brawl ensues and Braun Strowman comes out, clears the ring, and Nick Aldis. And then that was in Spain, I believe. Or that was somewhere in Europe.
I believe that's what it was.
He was speaking the native language and pretty much saying what he's like to say quite often to the people. Are you smelling what I'm cooking? Yeah, we smell what you're cooking. You finna give us a 6-man tag match. That's what you finna give us.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a 6-man tag match. And Tama Tonga, you took the end of this one with the power slam from Braun Strowman. There goes your winner. Braun Strowman, Jimmy Uso, and LA Knight. Then, we had an interview from earlier during the day before the actual show with Kathy Kelly interviewing Jade Cargill, her first time actually speaking since the betrayal of her back in was it October or November?
November.
November.
I read an article earlier today about it.
Back in November. That didn't involve physicality this time. It wasn't her coming out beating the brakes off Naomi like she did in the Elimination Chamber. It wasn't her coming back the week before and jading Naomi after Naomi admits to being the one to do the crime to Jade Cargill. And so we gotta have a sit-down conversation with Jade Cargill. At first, she was the stoic Jade Cargill that we knew, the confident woman that she is, until Kathy brought the question up about what Naomi did to her. Mentally, emotionally. You can feel it. That was big sis. They were the big three.
Naomi said, "Mother, the big three. It's just big me."
They were the big three. By the way, who was done by on this program first? Let's get that right.
Mm-hmm. Triple chocolate cakes is what it evolved to, by the way. Triple caramel cakes.
And she had a very honest response. Who can she trust after that?
She do. I felt that, yo.
And then in typical, what I want to say the right word.
Street trash fashion.
We can go with that one. Liv Morgan wants to talk over everybody. It had nothing to do with her. But she feels some type of way because everybody blame her for being the one that did it to Jay. So she feels some type of way. So she just felt like she wants to interrupt Jay while they was walking into the ring and preparing for tonight's show. Or that show that night. So this coming Friday, Liv Morgan will step into the ring with the Storm. Let's see how that goes. Because I can truthfully say Jade Cargill should win, but it is Liv Morgan we're talking about here, who's been on a rocket for the longest. So we don't know how this will go, especially on the road to the WrestleMania.
That's a fair point. It's a very fair point, actually.
Then we get to a match we didn't have on the card. I mean, we had on the card, but we didn't see coming this early. B-Foul going against the Queen, Charlotte Flair. By the way, I found a newfound love for B-Foul because she came out there speaking Spanish. I was like, wait a minute. B-Foul can speak some Spanish here.
I'm going to say I didn't find a newfound love for B-Fab.
I was like, wait a minute, we got some cool points over here. B-Foul in the Spanish language. Okay.
I enjoyed B-Fab. The entirety of B-Fab from when she walked out to when she was stretched out on the mat and everything in between.
Going against the Queen. By the way, this was not a squash match.
And this was not a match with Case in it. But at the same time, hold up. So there's one thing I wanted to say. I was waiting for this moment. Is it just me, or do Charlotte look like Carmella now?
I can kind of see where you say that at.
Yeah, I was like, you start calling her Charmella.
But I was like, there was not a squash match. B5 and the Queen put on a very good match together. Put on a very good match together. Okay, but we know who won the Queen. And in typical Queen fashion, when you step up to the Queen in a disrespectful manner, she's gonna let you know about it once the match is over, which means she kept the figure 8 on a little longer after the bell. Until the champ decided to seek retribution. Cool. They let these two women brawl they butts off. They let them brawl. I thought when the Miz came out, we were done. Miz don't came out, got in the ring. He was getting ready to do his intro, and all of a sudden, they still brawling at ringside by the entrance. I was like, y'all want people to be excited about that match? That's how you do it. We supposed to be going to a new segment. Nah, y'all keep brawling. Y'all keep going at it. Y'all keep going at it for a little while longer. I know Miz is in the ring. Y'all keep going. Y'all keep going. We need people excited about this. Kept going, and then Tiffany Stratton decided to get on top of the. I can't even call it the entrance board because it's like it's mixing with the crowd. So she was that far high, and she did another moonsault onto the whole pile. And she left out saying there's a new queen in town. They gave Tiffany Stratton some attitude. That's what we need to see. If you're gonna go against the queen, you gotta have some attitude. Which is good because they tapping into now they letting Tiffany tap into the NXT Tiffany for this one, which is good. That's why a lot of people couldn't stand Tiffany Stratton, but respected her because she had that attitude. That's the attitude we need to see from the champion. And then we get the Miz TV when he's getting ready to talk to Cody Rhodes and has some of the hard-hitting questions. Except the only thing that was hard-hitting was Cody Rhodes kicking the Miz and giving him a crossroads. And that was about it from the Miz.
And Cody had a few choice words.
Had a few choice words and made his announcement that he will be on Raw because John Cena was making his return.
I love this new Cody. I love him. It's like the Rock and the Rock's associates brain is out of Cody. I love it.
Hey, you got it. This is what you wanted. Unexpectedly, I was trying to figure out why. The crazy thing is, I knew this match was on the card, but I was trying to figure out why. We had Damian Priest going against Shinsuke Nakamura, but I was like, why this match is on the card? What did I miss? And then they did the whole cut to the scene where earlier in the day, Shinsuke wanted a rematch for the United States title. Damian Priest interrupts, talking about Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre wasn't there and all this other stuff. And then Shinsuke went to his Japanese mode. And then Nick was on the end of the day, so how about y'all sell it in the ring? Okay, let's sell it in the ring.
Priest went to Hispanic mode. It was wild.
Well, Damian Priest won, and he won by disqualification because good old Drew McIntyre.
Drew McIntyre
gave him a claymore and laid him out. So go ahead and pencil in Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest, like I've been telling y'all for months. Ever since that Royal Rumble.
You got pencil in.
Put it in pen. We putting it in the pen now. Okay, we putting it in the pen. Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest.
We'll put it in erasable ink, but we'll put it in pen.
Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest at WrestleMania. I've been telling y'all that since the Royal Rumble.
You have. You have.
All right. And then we get back to your boy, Mr. Hayes, putting his foot in his mouth.
As always.
Now he's going against the Viper or the Apex Predator, depending on what mood he's in. Randy Orton.
This is Viper. This is Viper.
No, this is more Apex Predator Friday. This is more Apex Predator.
True.
This is more Apex Predator, you know.
He actually might have been Legend Killer.
You know, I say Apex Predator because you know he was trying to be cordial with Carmella Hayes, but Carmella Hayes being Carmella Hayes.
That's what I'm saying. That's what turned him into
the Viper. But he was more Apex Predator. And he was going to give Carmella Hayes his props. Put on a good match for that Randy Orton. But Carmella Hayes, being Carmella Hayes, messing around, took 2 RKOs, and almost got his head taken off. Your boy just won't learn. He just won't learn.
Things a little different on the main roster.
He just would not learn.
He said, "Ain't no hate, no debating. He the best there."
And who has he beaten?
You know who he beat.
Just throwing that out there.
You know who he beat.
Then a surprise move happened. Gunther, the world champion, was on SmackDown. Why is the world champion on SmackDown? And why is he in ring gear?
Because Cody be on Raw every other week. That's why.
Okay, you want to go with that logic? I get it.
Yeah, that's
but why. The other person, why is he in ring gear? Who he's finna fight?
But actually,
they in Spain. They in Spain, and Gunther is using Spain as a tool to get at Jay. Because all of a sudden, Axiom out of all people is on SmackDown to fight Gunther. Where did y'all get this idea from? Where did this come from?
Axiom must be from Spain. That's the only reason I could see him getting beat up.
Yeah, he is. He's the hometown person.
Yeah, you gotta have a hometown person get beat down by Gunther.
No, Axiom gave him a run.
Yeah, but he still got to. When you lose,
he got beat. He got beat. He didn't get destroyed.
No,
he didn't get destroyed.
He got beat down, but he didn't get destroyed.
Axiom gave him a run, which means they took care of the NXT Tag Team Champion. Now you're gonna go to SmackDown. You're gonna get beat, but we ain't gonna make you look stupid in front of your people.
But you're gonna you're gonna hold his L though.
You're gonna hold his L, but you ain't gonna look stupid doing it. I can respect that.
It is what it is.
And then Gunther tried to talk to Jimmy about Jay, and it's like Jimmy turned into Big Brother.
That was a stupid segment, yo. To be honest, that was a stupid segment. I mean, that was stupid. That was unnecessary.
It was good.
You could have did that in the ring before that match. You didn't have to do an extra segment for that. That was stupid.
Yeah, it was because I'm like, Gunther, we didn't need to know that you have a little brother. We didn't need to know that.
And we don't care.
Jimmy's literally minding his own business. What Jay Uso got going on Raw, he gonna let Jay Uso do his thing. He ran by what he got going on SmackDown. But since you confronted me about my brother, let me be my brother's keeper.
Mm-hmm.
Good job, Jimmy. You're slowly turning cool to your side. I hope you know that. You're slowly turning cool over. It's still a process. It's a process because you can't just turn cool one way and another just like that. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work.
It doesn't. It takes a little work.
But you're going in the right direction with Cool, Jimmy. You're going in the right direction.
That is true. He is.
How you handle LA Knight today? And then what you did with Gunther? You're going in the right direction, sir. Cool can talk about you a little bit more.
Yeah. I might even listen to your theme song once or twice a month.
Now that I got that in there, here's the thing that Cool was waiting for. I have mixed emotions about this one. The main event was the WWE Tag Team Champions, DIY defending against the Street Profits. We already know Pretty Deadly gets the net shot because they won the whole triple threat match the week before to be the number one contenders. Who would they be facing for those titles we needed to determine? No interference, no interruptions, just 4 guys fighting for 2 belts. And at the end of it, the Street Profits are your new WWE Tag Team Champions
of the world.
Now, I said I had mixed emotions about it. I felt they should have waited for WrestleMania for them to do that. This is Mania season. Give them the payoff at Mania. Now, I have to sit here and question, can they keep it past WrestleMania when you got 5 other teams coming for you all at the same time?
Yes.
Okay, you saying yes?
I'm saying yes. You know what I'm saying? Yes.
You
Because they
saying
bring
yes?
the swag like nobody can. But now it's been since 21 since they had tag team goals. So it's been a minute. As I was watching the match, I was like, yo, the only thing I don't like is their entrance. You're doing like a more serious version of them. We got to update the entrance. Like the music can be the music, but the entrance itself. You know what I'm saying? We got to get away from what can be identified with fun loving. Street Profits, they're a little, you know, they cool dudes, but they've been showing ruthless aggression. So we need something that goes with that. We can give the New Day, who can't beat nobody that don't wear a luchador mask, new music and everything, but we can't give the Street Profits, right? We can't give them at least an updated entrance. The New Day, who is the old day. Yesterday, we can get new stuff, but we can't get it to the Street Profits.
I just have a query feeling. Them tag team times about to change hands a couple of times on this road to WrestleMania.
No yeet.
5 teams fighting for these 2 titles, and everybody needs their chance and shots and all this stuff. How you not change the titles again at some point in time?
I think dominance. So you need some dominance in the tag team division. You need somebody to actually have the belts for a while.
That's why I was saying WrestleMania. I think whoever leads the WrestleMania is going to be the dominant team.
It's going to be the Street Profits, bro.
I want to believe you.
Instead of making them wait and doing through all these other hoops, they done got all this happen to them to get the belts. Now the narrative changes. You got the belts. So now you got to show that same level or higher of ruthless aggression if you want to keep the belts. That's the new narrative.
Because I want to be quite honest, I would not be surprised if the Motor City Machine Gun enter WrestleMania with them belts again.
If the Motor City Machine Gun enter WrestleMania with them belts again, it's going to be a rant. If anybody besides Street Profits enter WrestleMania with them belts, it's going to be a rant.
That's at least one. I was like, wait till WrestleMania for it. Wait till WrestleMania for it, because we just had the Women's World Championship change on Raw. You had the SmackDown Tag Team title change on SmackDown. I mean, like, I feel like we're in a time of period where Triple H don't mind doing title changes left and right about that.
I think it's going to be it, though, until WrestleMania. For real. I think that's not going to be any more major changes until WrestleMania.
See, now, which you on the Women's World Champion, because only 3 people. And everybody want to be champion at WrestleMania. The SmackDown Tag Team divisions, we have 5 different teams.
Street Profits.
We have 5 different teams. I don't even think that match is going to end correctly anyway. I can see some tomfoolery happen to that match.
It's going to be a multi-team match at WrestleMania, I think.
And that's my problem. That's why I didn't want the Street Profits to win it on SmackDown.
I don't have a problem with it. You go in with the championships and you walk out with the championships.
But we shall see. We have new tag team champions. We did have a video package of Smoke in the number 4 during the show at some point in time. Can't remember exactly where. And most people believe that is the return of a Black.
We had another weird promo too.
I might have missed that one. You want to explain that one?
The dude was because you had that one, but then you had the one where the dude was sitting on the ropes. The different one.
Could that be for the same person or two different people?
I think it's for two different people.
I
think you said one of them. I think the other one is for the finally free Ray Phoenix.
Ooh. But why they did on SmackDown? Why they did on SmackDown, not on Raw though?
I think it was on Raw. I can't remember. I think it was Raw.
Okay.
I think Ray Phoenix is on Raw.
Gonna say you might as well put him with his brother.
Yeah.
And speaking of Raw, to finish up, a couple of things from today's special. Number one, and this is not in particular order. Number one, it's only two things. Number one, Seth Rollins came out, talked about what happened. Actually, he doesn't even blame Roman Reigns for doing what he did. He said he'd have done the exact same thing. Now, one thing he did say he didn't like is the fact that now he didn't allow Seth Rollins to finish off CM Punk first before doing what he did. And speaking of Roman Reigns and CM Punk, they are advertised to be on SmackDown Friday. And somebody said I might as well, stop by and join the fray. So in Italy, CM Punk, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins all on the one building. Think I'm ready for some drama for SmackDown. I don't know about you.
We're gonna get it.
You already said when the next time CM Punk show is gonna be on SmackDown, he's gonna be on fire. The Tribal Chief will be on SmackDown. And then Seth Rollins like, I'm gonna go there too. I'm gonna go have me some fun as well. So Nick Oz, you better be ready, sir. There's gonna be some carnage going on your show when you get to Italy. And we talking good carnage at that. This is really the only triple threat match that we actually want.
They must have been both on SmackDown because Damian says Ray Phoenix is expected to be on the SmackDown roster for now.
So that's one of the main things I want to touch on. So I'm looking forward to that for Friday. That's gonna be fun.
I know the other one had to do it.
And the other one was the return of John Cena for the first time. For the first time since Elimination Chamber in a shocking turn of events, we get to hear from John Cena.
Time is up. My time is now.
Same music, same attire. The demeanor was different.
No love.
The demeanor was different. You ever seen John Cena be so serious in the entrance way?
Why he looked like he just drank a gallon of beet juice before he came out.
John Cena did the same old stick, took the tire out, put it up so you see what it says. He didn't throw it to the crowd this time. He carried it with him all the way to the ring. He didn't even run to the ring. He walked to the ring.
To a chorus.
He didn't even speak to the cameraman. No words was said during the entrance. None. There's a simple walk to the ring, placed the little towel in the ring. Just took he ain't even slide in the ring. He took the steps to the ring and got in the ring normally. I mean, except the appearance, everything else was different. And people was like, no new music, no new attire. You know how Pat McAfee be doing it. Well, what is this? You get nothing new. Like, see a John Cena here. You get nothing new,
Patrick.
And then we got to the promo. John Cena was snapping. I'm not going front. I know you had to catch up with me, but John Cena, okay.
No, I saw it.
I can rock with this promo. Those other fans out there, oh, this is a terrible start to a heel promo. Did you not pay attention but to what the man said?
He said he's not a heel.
He said he's not a babyface. He's not a heel. He's a human being
with feelings.
And for 25 years,
We heard
he's been in an abusive relationship with y'all. Okay. So abusive relationship with the WWE Universe. Didn't see that one coming. Well, I say the word abusive relationship I didn't see coming.
I didn't see that either.
All y'all do is take. When I first came to it, y'all didn't like me. I changed things up. It worked for a while. Then you turned on me again. What did I do? I switch it up again. I win. And y'all still don't like me. I'm saying here like, he's actually making some valid points here that I can't really argue against. I don't know how you feel. I'm like, he's making a lot of sense right now. He's making a lot of sense. I got to be honest. And that crowd was giving him all the boos in the world. They even said, we even got a FU Cena chant. When the last time you ever heard a FU Cena chant? I don't recall ever hearing a FU Cena chant. Except Chicago. After the whole CM Punk pipe bomb thing. That's how that. When the last time you heard a FU Cena chant? So John Cena was dropping some truth knowledge. Some fans loved it because they was like, yep, that was pretty much us. Yep.
I wouldn't say it was truth. I would say it's his perception.
And but this is one thing I did. Like he said, you don't get a new look. You dress like me. I don't dress like you idiots. I was like, nice one. You don't get new music. That's my voice on that song. Your time is up. My time is finally now. I was like, I can't argue that one either. That is your song, sir. That is you. That is your voice. That is you doing the lyrics. I can't argue with it. Basically, he told the world, bleep y'all. I made that song. I'm keeping it. How did you feel? You just standing there. You have nothing.
So this does not relate to this, but I have to say this because I just saw it. It's popped up. So sources, take this as you will, sources.
Sources.
Yeah. Sources say that that are close to AEW say that Adam Copeland's limited number of pinfall losses since he came to AEW is not due to an unwillingness to lose, but rather a lingering back injury. His injury prevents him from lying flat for long, affecting his ability to take pins, but not his ability to pin others lying flat on his stomach. Flabbergasted. Just want to throw it out there. That's the kind of bull crap that is being put out there.
I'm not even going to go back to it. Then I'm going to go back into how you feel about Johnson and saying the crowd don't need new music. That is his music.
So I like it for now. I think in WrestleMania you do a different song that he does. It's still him. But I think for now you don't give the fans anything because you want to tick them off more or piss them off. We can say that. You want to piss them off. So you piss them off by not giving them anything better than what they have right now. So I like that because it leads to the I'm a heel, but I'm not really a heel in my own mind philosophy that we seem to be going with. So I can rock with that.
He also says, quote, "You have made me the butt of a stupid, invisible joke for 15 years, and you still think it's funny. It's not funny."
Yeah, he kind of.
He went down the list. Oh, he was ready.
So when I say he went off the deep end, and I don't dislike it, right? Let me clear that. I don't dislike it, but I think it's one of those examples of your perception has become your reality, and it's not necessarily everybody else's reality. But I still rock with it because it was needed probably for John. He had to come up with a better reason than I did it for The Rock. So this is better than that. You already using that with Naomi anyway. So
basically, he took everything that has happened in his career and he flipped it on the fans. Everybody want to do "You Can't See Me." Anybody seen John Cena? Like, the man is not really invisible.
He did say that too.
The man is not really invisible. Why do y'all keep doing that? And that's what he's referring to. And you know, there's some people out there who you got those wrestling fans out there. How is the mic floating like this? Is why John Cena is doing what he's doing right now. That's exactly why. Y'all talking about how is the mic floating? Like, the disrespect is real. See, and this is what we had, and this is what happens with wrestling fans. We've been asking for John Cena to turn heel for so freaking long. He finally turns heel, and then y'all don't like the promo. Well, one thing he did was do everything that y'all do and threw it back at you. Did I miss anything? Did he do anything wrong?
Nah, see, that's the thing. I don't, as most things with heels or heelish tendencies, I don't really see a lot of wrongs as long as it makes sense. But I think it makes a lot of sense storyline wise, because what's the thing? What we've been talking about this whole time. You wanted him heel. He took a little time to get his heel persona right. But you wanted him to be the type of heel that you wanted. You wanted to come out with a different song, new gear. What you wanted was what he told us before he came back and turned that they wanted to do with him before, where he had the wrestling boots and the singlet and all that. You wanted that John Cena to show up with the robe and everything. You wanted that John Cena to show up, but you're not going to get that, and you're upset.
He says, "You get no new music, you get no new merchandise, you get nothing." I was like, I love the fact that he said that.
Yeah, Playmaker definitely is all in on this John Cena heel.
Hey, they presented it in a very nice way.
I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with it. I'm just saying you're all for it.
I'm saying, he hit the points. That's all I'm saying. He hit the points that was needed to be hit. Y'all want a new music? Heck no, y'all ain't getting no new music. Y'all want a new gear? Heck no, y'all ain't getting no new gear. This is me. Like it or deal with it. Basically what he's saying. I'm like, okay, I can rock with that. That's my music. You gonna listen to it when I come out. I ain't mad at you. You did a lot of winning. People hated you when you was winning. You came back part-time, you got the pop, and then we went back to the Let's Go scene. You seen the such chance. Which they did on the show today. And I love how he know how to wait. He know how to let the crowd just do their thing and just wait. Like, go ahead. I don't care. Go ahead. And then Cody Rhodes shows up. Cody Rhodes still in his aggression mode. Still in his ruthless aggression mode. Go find a John Cena that I've been looking for, because the one I want to fight at WrestleMania is the Astro John Cena, not this Ronnie Bitch. And mic drop John Cena. I think we're on a very good track to WrestleMania 44 main event of Cody Rhodes and John Cena.
They definitely made it a lot better with the changes that happened last few weeks. Definitely upgraded it.
And the crazy thing is,
and before we get music off here, this is complete.
I'm gonna say, and guess what? No music was played at the end of this promo. None. Cody Rhodes music wasn't played. John Cena music wasn't played. It's just the two combatants.
Last thing I
and the
want to
crowd.
address, I know we're over time, but the last thing I want to address is the people who run around online and say foolishness like, Jay Uso is the reason why WrestleMania tickets aren't selling. No, the cost of WrestleMania tickets in Las Vegas is the reason why the tickets haven't sold. They went up
Where's
about
WrestleMania?
40 to 50% 2 years ago.
Where's WrestleMania at again?
Las Vegas, Nevada, Sin City. The tickets is ridiculous. Housing is ridiculous. That's why WrestleMania tickets are not selling.
Well, what's
It don't matter if you had The Rock versus Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa versus Jacob Fatu. It wouldn't matter.
What is the entertainment media capital of the country?
Last time that I checked, it was there, Las Vegas.
Does any of these things like ring a bell to y'all, or y'all just be too caught up in the moment?
They just want to hate on Jey Uso. You're gonna hate when he win too.
I'll give it to what Jey Uso did on today's episode next week.
Because when Jey Uso win, I'm gonna be in here yeeting like Michael Cole and Pat McAfee.
Oh, and by the way, I'll get into some news about that too.
I'll probably look more like Pat McAfee than I probably look more like Michael Cole and Pat McAfee once I've been yeeting for a few minutes, but that's beside the point. It'll be an all-out yeet fest. Well, I'm gonna hop in the comments right quick, good people, and acknowledge everyone who came through. And then we're gonna be up out of here. So AP in the building. AP says Aleister Black making a comeback to the WWE. Yes, sir. He is. Yolanda says, now that's who all the women love to see. The body is just chef kiss. Kissy face OTC. Then Yolanda says, oh, I'm behind, laugh out loud.
Oh, yeah, you definitely behind, because that's when I was talking about SmackDown. See?
Yeah. And then she says, yeet.
And you talking about me don't do no spoilers. You didn't even watch SmackDown from last week.
Damien says, Ray Phoenix is expected to be on SmackDown roster for now. He then says they're going to have the Lucha Brothers separated because Penner's doing his own thing with Ludwig.
I gave you that last week.
Cena looks like a car salesman with his hair. And then Sam says, what's up, everyone? What's up, Sam? So, good people, we have hit the 1 minute and 48 second, almost 149 minute mark. Make sure you tell 4 people who you think are your friends and 4 people who may or may not like you.
Before you continue, because today's the 17th. Today's the 17th. Next week, my sister will not be joining us because it is a special day on the 24th. My sister's birthday is next Monday.
Oh, yeah, Sherry said my birthday next Monday, so I'm going to be out drinking. I know that's right.
So she would not be joining us.
I know that's right.
But you enjoy yourself. Enjoy your birthday.
And watch the replay. Yolanda, watch the replay when you are sober. A day or two later.
Sober? You watch the replay Tuesday, because...
Yeah, we'll watch it Tuesday. Okay.
Watch it Tuesday.
You know how that goes better than I do, so you can watch it Tuesday.
Because she's going to be fine that entire day, okay?
Yeah. And then, because those 8 people, just because they may or may not like you, doesn't mean they won't like us. They actually definitely will like us. And it's never where you start. It's always where you finish. The boys are out. Be back with us next week.
And
a lot of things to talk about.
Yes, a lot of stuff to talk about. And just in case you're wondering, Raw will come on at 4 o'clock next Monday.
It will. They'll tell you
4
20
p.m.
times when you watch the show this week. They'll tell you 20 times. They'll remind you many times. Anytime. And SmackDown will remind you as well. Trust me. We'll holler at you next week.